Hey, what's going on, guys? Modix back here with a brand new video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about some tips to help you guys improve in PvP to really take your game to that next level. Guys, I do have some credibility. I am one of the top players right now. I've been winning a lot of tournaments and stuff recently, and I think I am a pretty decent PvPer, so I hope that you guys can actually learn from these tips and you don't just, play how you normally play. I hope that these can actually, try and improve your gameplay some. So we're going to hop right into these, but first, guys, we have a creator code now, so if you ever buy ARM from the shop, or if you ever buy a game on the Epic Game Store, use code MODIX, just MODIX, alright? If you buy anything on Epic Games, please use that. It helps support us. That would be awesome. Right now we have 0 supporters, so if anyone can even just put it into Fortnite or anything, that would be great. Alright, let's hop into these PvP tips, alright guys? So, our very first tip for you guys is we're going to be learning how to rush credits so that you can get your weapon or ability very quickly. So basically, the reason you're going to need to rush credits is because you really want to get a weapon or ability if you want to be able to PvP other players. Because if you have only your starting pistol and they end up with a 200 credit weapon, or they end up with an ability such as a turret or a grenade or really anything, they are going to have a major advantage on you. So I would recommend, if you're playing duos, have one of your players just go straight for credits the entire time. So do the first tier of Velticide's always good. Go for just killing every monster you see until you can get up to that credit mark, because that is going to help you guys very, very much. If you end up with a 200 credit weapon, really whatever weapon it is, you should be able to win a fight against someone else that has just a starting pistol, or say you prefer to use your pistol. If you get yourself an ability to give yourself that just extra little bit of advantage on the other player, that is going to help you guys so much. So make sure you're rushing credits, at least 150 to 200 credits to get your weapon or ability early, because that's going to give you guys that advantage that you need. Now, after you have that advantage, you guys are going to be feeling confident. You're going to be able to win your fights, but you are still going to need to pick your fights wisely. There is no reason to go into a lot of the fights in this game. It's not Fortnite where you need to fight every single person. Guys, you need to be strategic about which fights you take and which you don't. Now, if you're just playing in order to have fun and maybe improve your PvP skills, sure, take every single fight. But if you're playing to actually try and win and you actually want to try and improve, I would suggest you practice not fighting every single fight. Let's say someone is doing a 100 Veltcite crystal, but you wanted to do that 100 Veltcite. It's not worth fighting them. Let them take it, go do something else, and the time it's going to take you to fight them, you could have been doing so many other things, gotten yourself more stars, gotten yourself more credits, many things that would have been very much more beneficial. But if it's like for uplink, for instance, and there's a team on it and you're trying to take it because you need to win this game, then that fight might be worth taking. So just be sure you're taking correct fights, as well as be sure you're looking at the numbers in fights. If you're playing solos, be sure you're not jumping in directly into like a 1v2 where they have the advantage or something like that. Or say you're playing duos, don't hop into a 1v2. Make sure you have a decent advantage, or at least it's an even fight against your opponents. Another thing with solos, if it is a 1v2 and they're pacted, you actually might have the advantage considering they don't have any shield. So you could theoretically be able to get yourself a nice little advantage pretty quickly, knock one of them, and then it ends up with a 1v1 where you have more health. But, just dissect the situation, take your time, and think about how that fight will go down. Make sure that you pick it wisely. Now, after you pick your fight, you're going to want to make sure you work on your positioning. Positioning is so important in this cycle. It is so important. For instance, one of the major things I see, a lot of times someone will cap the uplink that's on the bottom left of the map. Alright, even if you don't know where this is, I will explain it. So, it's basically the uplink that has a platform above it that people can shoot down on, or you can run in on the ground floor. I see a lot of people that have the option to either shoot down on the other players or run in through the ground floor, and they decide to run through the ground floor. Guys, you always want to try and take your opponents by surprise, position yourself somewhere they won't expect, give yourself any advantage you can to win the fight. So if you can get yourself some high ground on someone, most of the time that's going to be worth it. If you can hide behind a certain rock that they're not going to expect, do it. If you can try and get behind them by moving around, do it. But get yourself the perfect positioning to win the fight. If you just run straight at your opponent and you're in an open field and you're unaware of your surroundings, they have cover, and you just get lasered down, that's terrible positioning. Guys, make sure that you position yourself correctly to where you have cover, you can get an advantage, make sure you're able to hit your shots on the other team without them being able to immediately just run away from you. This leads me directly into our next point, and that is going to be movement. Guys, movement is one of the most important things in the cycle. If you can move correctly, you're going to be able to win almost every single fight, even if you have terrible aim. Guys, your movement isn't just how quickly you can get around the map, it's also how strategically you're able to move during a fight. So personally, I like using the quick suit because I've gotten really good at slide jumping with it and using those slides to get the correct amount of, like, space between me and my opponents to where I can actually know exactly how I'm going to play out the fight, exactly which rock I'm going to go to next, everything. But you don't necessarily need to use the quick suit. You can use the boxer war suit, you can use the flight suit maybe, and you can even use the basic prospector suit as long as you know how to use them. The main thing with movement, you guys just need to make sure you're moving in a way that your opponent isn't going to be able to easily predict where you're going and easily just pick you off. So running straight through an open field whenever you have the option of going through some trees, not the right choice. You want to make sure you go through the trees, go through the rocks, go in between whatever you can, go down the hill, take a route that they're not going to expect, hide behind them, do anything you can to try and move in a way that they won't predict. Because if they can predict where you're moving every time, they're going to keep the advantage. You can actually gain yourself the advantage while running away. I do this all the time. I'll be running away from a fight, but strategically running away to the point where I get high ground on them and get behind them, and they're still trying to find me. Well, I just sprayed down half of their health because I'm behind them and they didn't know before they were even able to. Alright, so make sure you're moving correctly to the point where your opponents aren't able to easily predict so that you can actually get behind cover, not take as much damage, and you will be perfect for that. Another thing that isn't as important in this game, this is one of the less important tips, but your aim is always going to be a factor in really any shooter game. Make sure you guys work on your aim a little bit. If it's terrible, hop into like some aim trainer. You can download Aim Lab on Steam. There are a lot of free aim trainer things that you can get that can help you improve your aim, mess with your sensitivity, do anything you can to try and get that aim perfect, because hitting your shots is still important. But more important than hitting your shots, the mods that you put on your weapons. Guys, if you're going for PvP, you know that people are going to be trying to kill you. You know you're going to be playing aggressively. Make sure you mod your weapons correctly, all right? There are different rounds you can put on certain weapons that make it do more PvP damage. There are certain rounds that make it do more damage to mobs. Certain rounds that make your gunfire faster. All of these things take into effect. You want to make sure you look at everything that the mod does because every little thing matters. If it makes your gun shoot faster, it's also probably going to give it more recoil, and you got to think, is that your playstyle? Are you going to be able to hit your shots if you're running at some dude, releasing more rounds, but you have more recoil? If not, maybe don't put that mod on. Pick your mods strategically so that you can win your PvP fights. Think about every situation that you're going to be in, and try and think about which mods are going to be the best for that. So long range, short range, the medium range fights, absolutely everything. If you get jumped, what you need. Okay, so make sure you have the correct mods on that you want. Make sure you test out other things. You can always hop on a training ground and pick it up and figure out what you want to do with it. But mods are essential right now to actually be doing correctly in PvP. Guys, other than mods, you also are going to want to make sure you have good abilities on. So, some of my favorite PvP abilities are going to be the heavy turret, the surveillance ward, there is the shield, there is the triage sphere sometimes, occasionally. You can even use directional warp, which kind of got nerfed, but still I see a lot of people using it. There are a lot of good options, even snare traps sometimes if you're good with them, but just make sure you're using these abilities during your fights and make sure you're using them to the best of your ability. So personally, I like turrets. I never have a loadout that doesn't have a turret in it because, guys, turrets are absolutely insane. You put it down, it does so much damage to your opponents before you even have to shoot them. So make sure you use those. You can also slow down your opponents by running away, placing a turret behind you. You just have to use them really correctly and you will be able to, figure out how to use them. You'll be able to use them to your advantage and really put a disadvantage on your opponents by using them. Another thing that's going to be very, very important, guys, running away is so important in this game because you regen your health, you regen that shield, and it kind of lets you reset the fight. You get to pick what position you want to take on it. So running away isn't necessarily a bad thing. You don't always need to stay and try and, go into a gunfight with whoever you're shooting at. Guys, running away, you can end up winning the fight even if you start at a disadvantage. You can run, you can regain your health, end up, doing whatever you want to get your own advantage. If you want to go up a hill so that you can shoot down on them, do it. If you want to place a turret behind you so that they don't start regening health, do it. But you want to make sure that you run away in a way that isn't going to give them more of an advantage, You don't want to run straight down the river where they're able to see you the entire way and just keep on shooting at you. You want to run away so that you can regen your health. You want to be able to, slow them down, hopefully get yourself an advantage on a high ground or better positioning on them. Really anything that is able to get you an advantage on them. Guys, I hope these tips did help you. If they did, leave a like on this video. Guys, leave a comment down below on what video you want to see on this channel, and I will make it. Any comment, basically, that's on the cycle, I will make your video, all right? So if there's anything you guys want to know about, I know it. I've been playing this game for about 8 months now, guys. There isn't many things that I don't know, so if you're curious about anything, you need any help, let me know, and I will make sure to make a video on it. Guys, if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. This game's blowing up. I'm helping you guys become some of the best players on it. Hit that subscribe button, especially if you made it to the all the way end of this video. If you're not subscribed and you made it to the end, what in the world are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those post notifications. Guys, we're going to be streaming, doing giveaways. We're going to be uploading more videos. All of it on the cycle. Like I said, use creator code MODIX anytime you buy anything from the Epic Store. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you. We're getting close to that 1,000 sub mark, so tell your friends, tell your family, get them all in here. If you guys did enjoy this, like I said, leave a like. It helps so much. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.